Hey, welcome back to The Dive. Our guest today will deep dive into the development of their third mining site, its location, new miners, her view on the supply chain constraints and manufacturing shortages, Bitcoin mining power consumption, and of course, Ethereum. She has served as the driving force behind the operational re-imaging of some of Canada's most prominent technology companies. And she's the CEO of Hut 8 Mining Corporation. Jaime Leverton's joining us today. But before we bring her on, consider smashing that subscribe button for me, please. Hey, Jaime, welcome to The Dive.
Hello.
It's so great to have you. Okay, so let's start with your most recent announcement about your third mining site located in North Bay, Ontario. Why North Bay, and how much capacity can this site hold? Do you have any revenue timelines?
So, why North Bay? North Bay is it's a great city. There's a ton of great talent there. The site that we've selected is actually owned by our power partner, Validus Power, and therefore it allowed us to get better control over the speed to getting the site up and running. And so really that's why we made the decision. North Bay, just like our sites in Alberta, has a very favorable climate for Bitcoin mining. It'll continue to allow us to take advantage of free air cooling, which is important to us to keep our energy footprint low. So yeah, I think there's a ton of great reasons to be in North Bay. We've got great support from the local government. We were thrilled when we announced the site last week. We had the mayor come out and join us, as well as one of the local MPs, who's the Speaker of the House. So we're just thrilled with the welcome that we're getting in the region, and we're excited to grow there.
That's awesome. So our understanding was that the third site was originally supposed to be in Alberta. What led you to the decision to move it to Ontario?
Yeah, unfortunately, Alberta went into a really difficult situation with COVID-19. They had to go into another hard lockdown, that where we just couldn't get the timelines that we needed to execute, and therefore we worked with Validus. One of the nice things about working with a partner like Validus, they have other sites that we could look at, and in the case of North Bay, because it's an owned site, it enabled us to get the timelines that we needed by switching the geography.
So how much capacity can this new site hold?
So we're starting with 35 megawatts, but we can do initially, I think we can go up to 100, and there's potential to expand beyond that as well.
Okay, awesome. So the company recently executed a $58.7 million purchase of 12,000 new miners. Could you give us some color on this?
Yeah, we were so thrilled with that announcement. As I think most of you know, supply chain is incredibly tight right now. It's very, very difficult to secure current generation miners for delivery in the short term. We were lucky to secure just over an exahash in June that's delivering in the fourth quarter. And then this order that we announced a few weeks ago starts delivering in January. So it allows us to have miners coming in every month for the next 15 months. And in the case of this order, as well as the last one, at a really competitive price point, which we were thrilled about. And this is all in partnership with MicroBT.
Okay, great. So as you mentioned, globally, many industries are experiencing supply chain constraints and manufacturing shortages. How are you dealing with this? Is this type of concern affecting your overall strategy at all?
Well, it's certainly something that we're acutely aware of. We feel really grateful to be in a relationship with MicroBT that's so strategic. We are an authorized repair center for MicroBT, servicing many of their repairs in North America as well as Northern Europe. We've got a very close relationship with them. We were able to work with them to secure that order earlier in June, which was originally intended for a miner in China, but during the exodus, they weren't able to take the delivery. So we were able to partner with MicroBT and take over which is the same thing that happened with this most recent order. So we're very, very careful in how we execute purchases with our balance sheet. We do not want to be in a position where we're overpaying. So we want to make sure that we're paying competitive rates when we deploy our capital, but that we're able to drive to the timelines for growth that are important to us as well. So it's a very delicate balance. We work closely with all of our partners to try to manage any logistics hiccups that are happening in the field, which are also unfortunately quite rampant. We were lucky in this in the building of this new site. We were able to get our transformer orders in well before shortages hit that industry. So again, just trying to work as much ahead of time as possible and stay really, really close to all of the strategics in the supply chain that we work with.
Great. You lucked out on that one for sure. Okay, so following month-long crackdowns in China, the world's largest group of Bitcoin miners migrated to Kazakhstan, which has become a popular destination for exiled players. Kazakhstan announced in mid-October that it was cutting the amount of power miners could access by 95% due to the massive flood of farms operating towering racks. We understand that you're not affected by this, but how do you assess the risk of Canada restricting power using crypto mining?
Well, look, I think one of the benefits we have here in Canada is a wealth of energy resources from coast to coast. We don't have a finite set of energy resources like many other jurisdictions. Canada is one of the wealthiest energy nations on the planet. We work very, very closely with government, municipal, local, federal. I think one of the nice things about being in North Bay now, we've got some geographic diversity between Alberta and now Ontario, so two different provinces. But we certainly believe Canada continues to be incredibly well positioned based on just the incredible energy assets that we have here in this country.
So Hut 8 also mines Ethereum, and Ethereum has recently soared to an all-time high. We heard the analogy that Bitcoin is digital gold and Ethereum is digital cash. How do you view Ethereum?
I don't know about Ethereum as digital cash. I think certainly I'm in the camp where I see Bitcoin as a type of digital gold. I think it's the hardest store of value that we've ever seen in human history, and I'm very bullish on Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. I think Ethereum really serves a different purpose. It's really there to facilitate smart contracts. It has a completely different use case and value proposition than Bitcoin, and I fully believe the two will continue to coexist. And I don't think it's an either or situation. Obviously, we're bullish on both, given that we're mining both.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Jaime, and sharing your thoughts with us.
Anytime. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest small cap news coverage.